You have to have that ideology. You have to have those bombs at the ledge. You have to have up tilt on the ready, or maybe control the distance between the green and the silver part of the ledge here in Pokemon Stadium for tether grab. Yes, the low percent. That's Samus's gameplay. Enjoy the up tilt. Enjoy the back air, homie.
Now this is going to be quite the change of pace for Sonic, because this is a matchup where you don't want to be too close to Samus, or else you're going to kind of get obliterated the way you just saw that opening from IcyMist. But you also don't want to be too far away.
Don't do it.
You don't want to give that room to Samus to get comfortable. When this game first came out, a lot of Sonic players said, yo, this matchup is just not good for Sonic, man.
No.
But time and the meta has progressed quite a bit, and Sonic feeling much more comfortable, going down to an even setup, and you don't know what's really going to happen. It's all going to come down to the patience, the punish, and the control of that center.
The patience, punish, and percent right there, the 3 Ps. We're going to see how this one is going to go, though, because I'm really afraid of just like some of the trade aspects. I feel like for a character like Sonic, you know, your conversions, your strings have to be just as finesse heavy as humanly possible. Okay, you cannot afford to go for any trades versus Samus's normals, especially those aerials. Nair takes no prisoners. As you can see, the way this match kicked off. Back here, of course, very powerful. You can see IcyMist, he's still looking for it. Don't ever whiff a grab, though.
Yeah.
Don't ever whiff a grab, said Raph.
We're going to see a lot of that just right outside of that grab hitbox, but when you're doing a pivot grab right there, it does get extended, and if you think you're going to get the setup that you got on Shattuck, think again, because Sonic's recovery may be vertical, but it's got a lot of mix-ups, so be careful of the way you commit. Now, I'm surprised we're seeing a lot of down specials coming in from Raph, because that side special in this matchup is actually really, really useful to get through those charge shots on these iframes. So I'm sure we're going to see that coming in, but again, don't showcase your hand too early. See you later.
See you later. See you in a while. Okay, great stuff on the up throw. Did not expect for that to go down like that, but again, grab at the ledge, such a daunting task to work around. And of course, now that you've given Samus lead, just like Sonic, the matchup is now going to change a little bit, because now you have to come chase me down. And honestly, given the mechanics of some of Samus's moves, this is certainly the game she wants to play. You overextend, I'm going to up B out of shield. If I feel like I can beat you to the swing, I'm going to get up underneath you and start looking for either up air, or I'm going to explode before you even get close. First hit on forward air, frame 6. Very good move for just bursting in. Of course, Samus has a really good dash attack, too. These are certain things that Raph is going to have to keep in the back of their mind. Wait a minute. You at that ledge, though. This is Raph, home sweet home.
Unfortunately, though, maybe home, but doesn't know the distance to the end of the line. Does not find that F-tilt that was needed. But now looking for these desperate kills. And this is the hard part, because at this percent, like you saw, spin charge, the opponent is going to fall right out. So you've got to find a way to scoop your opponent in other ways, such as using side special and even up throw, back throw. In this case, will do the trick. A reset here and a touch of rage of Sonic, and setting up the spring to stall out the invincibility.
Now that they have that wrath on their behalf, or that rage, excuse me, on their behalf, I'm glad you brought it up. I'm curious to understand maybe how they're going to try to work with it. Again, you still have to get up close and personal on Samus to do really anything, and that's still the game IcyMist wants to play. They have the lead. I mean, you can do things as simple as like one-hit jab into stuff. Good temperature checker, just to see if somebody's home. If not, go for one-hit jab into pivot grab, one-hit jab into turnaround, cross-up nair. I mean, Samus at these lower percents to these darker orange percents is a very dangerous character. But wait a minute, Raph's starting to figure some things out here. Gonna go for the spring, doesn't get anything off it. Forward air for the coverage. I don't got options.
Oh, that was definitely a little bit of a fumble of those, just a little bit of a reaction. We know for a fact that that was certainly a grab on the side of Raph. Did not find it and actually costed an entire stock for it. But I feel like he's figuring out this game plan a much easier, exploiting the use of homing attack against these projectiles and finding the right space. But a misjudgment there, causing a lot of damage.
That's right. Now, speaking on the topic of space right here, nobody's controlling it just as well as IcyMist is here in this match. The early percents of this game, I mean, again, she's just so dangerous to work against. Of course, you know, again, Raph, they're looking to get their hands on Samus, but that just becomes such a daunting task when she has lead, and you know that you have to approach her. She is certainly looking for you to do that, and please overextend is what she's saying. I got the punishments on the ready.
You're going to go ahead and get over me. I mean, thank you so much. That's exactly
free damage.
What Samus wants. We were talking about how you don't want to be over Sonic. It's the same thing the other way around. This is where Samus strives. Definitely just try and land on me and try to spin dash me, because that SDI is on point, and there is no way you're hitting me with those spin charges into the fair. So maybe, hopefully, we're going to start seeing some scoops from the side special very soon.
Well, let's see if that all unfolds that way. Again, love that frame 3 jab. Very quick. Nice. Oh, my God. Did not expect that to KO IcyMist. Some suspect DI right there. Raph right there. That's going to take that one and cash it out at the bank. IcyMist, of course, electing to stay more towards center stage. Now, typically, you would see her get a little bit close and play this game, but not this time. She's looking to hold down the fort and force Wrath to come to her. Wrath has been really struggling right now, kind of moving through the minefield that is charge shot, where there's all the way charged or slightly charged, and then of course, super missile.
Not going to get the confirm into the back air from the up air. A little bit too much rage, and now the fair sending off stage. I don't think Wrath has a jump, but Smart uses the homing attack to mix up and lands right, unfortunately, on the target. My man really played baseball there, okay?
Wow,
Like,
playing ball and getting a home run is IcyMist. Her gameplay absolutely out of this world. Wrath, of course, going to have to dig deep to figure out what we're going to do to adjust for game number 2 because, you know, we talked about it. Sonic has that ability just to take the pacing of the match and switch it up at the drop of a hat. When you're the fastest character in the game on foot, you can kind of do these sort of things. However, Samus kind of comprised from very similar ingredients, though not quite as fast on foot. Definitely makes up for the long-range game. Coupled with the fact that those aerials are so dangerous, you really have to watch yourself with Sonic. Wrath has to make sure each and every one of these hits are clean hits, no trades. Samus, does not have the moves you want to trade with early on.
No, absolutely, and I love that this setup. I think, you know, Rod, I think he's hearing you. He's really listening, understanding this pace control like you were talking about because Sonic has that power. No matter what character you may use, you got to follow Sonic's lead. It's why a lot of players find him so frustrating, and it's a test of your stamina. And IcyMist, we can talk about one thing in stamina. I mean, she just had a reverse 3L right on Shattuck, so I mean, I think her stamina is just fine.
Yeah, it's definitely where it needs to be right here, but it can't run out just yet because this is still Wrath, one of the best Sonics to ever do it. And of course, he's not showing any signs of slowing down with a pretty comfortable lead with that frame 8 dash attack, of course, covering that space. Controlling a little bit of that ground up close.
My goodness gracious.
Down there, yes. You might have one of the best recoveries with your spring, but there ain't no hitbox on the way up, just the spring itself. You might get hit with this down there.
I love that grab from Wrath. Such a risky one as well. Got it, and unfortunately finds himself back on the ledge against Samus. That's never somewhere where you want to be because IcyMist just understands the bread and butter that is going to be spread across that toast on that ledge, now putting herself in the lead on this game too with the one stock.
Oh, this stock might be toast right here depending on how Wrath distributes this damage. Another forward and nice. Some of the later hits that move very, very active, very good at catching air dodges and in proper tech read. In proper tech rolls on the ledge, Of course, Samus with these multi-hitting aerials, I mean, again, when you air dodge it properly, if you can bait an air dodge, whatever the case may be, empty jump under those platforms, bet your bottom dollar those aerials are coming out. But on the topic of multi-hitting aerials, there are Wraths off stage, and I have not seen an opponent throughout the course of this tournament, not just top 8, not just top 4, just this tournament that has the remedy for forwarder off stage.
Yeah, you said it best, I think, Ron. You know, the Wrath is when he's in there, that Wrath is gonna show up. You think that this damage is something, it is only a taste of what's coming because Sonic, when he hits pretty hard, and it feels really good while doing it. The nose definitely putting out a lot more damage with that fair, and now jump from the ledge into the spin charge into the jump back here in front of that percent. I love the spring. Just get out of there. Yep. I don't want to deal with this.
Not even going to play the ledge game with you. I know you're not going to go off stage to come and get me, but I have to understand physically, I'm a little bit more gifted than you in the mobility department. So after down throw, I know you're not even at the percent for a lot of these real follow-ups. I'm not even going to let you try to mix me. Let me just get out of harm's way. Immediately dash attack. Looks like it was a dash grab right there that kind of got stuffed out. Another forward air, though. IcyMist has shown a lot of success with this. Okay, what's up? Charge cancel?
I'm scared.
Man, this is like Five Nights at Freddy jump scares. Like,
Bro,
what's up?
We're ready. This is the train for Halloween, okay? If anyone wants that, you're going to be fighting IcyMist because it is getting a little spooky as the percent is racking up. And no SDI there, just a little bit weird on that. But the F-tilt does find its way as the reversal on that up special from Samus is not going to clank on that ledge. Are you going to get the edge guard you need? The F-tilt comes out. I don't think you got to jump left, but it goes extending just a little bit too far. The fair finds its way. IcyMist is alive.
That's right. Wrath really trying to scout out with these back airs, trying to beat IcyMist to the swing on getting back towards the ledge, but IcyMist having the right presence of mind to look for the right option. But wait a minute. Came through to give Sonic the Hedgehog a hug and got tossed off the stage right there on the right. Great stuff. That dash attack is showing IcyMist a lot of promise, but not in that regard. Wrath with the lead. And you know what? You know the vibes.
You know, baby.
Let's get it.
You know, we thought we were going to get a standoff standing back, but no, we are just going in, continuing to make as much extra credit as we possibly can. Once again, I think just IcyMist just wants more and more hugs here from Wrath, giving exactly what he wants in the perfect distance. This spacing from Wrath has been so much better here in the second half of this game. The agency up smash, I don't think it does actually kill. The little bit of charge with a lot of rage is going to seal that game 2 for Wrath.
Wow. Again, reinforcing the idea that just playing calm, cool, and collected is certainly what you need to do to succeed in this matchup. Really on both fronts, but especially for Sonic. As weird as this is to say, for them to go up against a character that they just can't maneuver around with relative ease. You know, even if I can't jump in and around you, the fact that Samus, excuse me, can just take so much of the stage and make it her own with super missiles. I can jump and go for charge shot if you think you're going to go on the platform. She just controls so much. And another thing IcyMist was doing was staying in the middle of the stage. When she had the lead, I got nair, I got forward air, I got dash attack. This is the perfect distance I need right here to read you and to also go for the right option to keep you out. Raph really struggling to work around it, but hey, was able to figure it out right here and kicking this match off right here in an electric way. Let's see if they can close this one out.
I'm actually very excited to see how this setup is going to go on this match, because like you were talking about space and zoning, this stage is a lot smaller than PS2. It's actually a great response from IcyMist, but the only problem is you're giving a platform to Sonic and less space. It's a little bit better sometimes with Sonic. You don't want to have that setup, and that perfect spacing just might make you a little bit antsy and nervous when trying to counter as to where he's going to be and when, because don't blink. As you saw, that amazing dash attack came out of nowhere, just grabbing the space that Sonic needed.
That's right. It's all about covering that space physically around Sonic. The same could certainly be said for IcyMist too. I think Raph right here has to kind of rework the off-stage presence that they've been, shown to get a lot of success with up until this very point. Forward air, very, very tough to work around. But it looks like they're electing to use more spring to try to force recovery, maybe back towards the ledge, and then play the ledge get-up game. Are you going to go for jump? Are you going to go for roll? Are you going to go for neutral get-up? I think Raph is, again, just playing kind of tic-tac-toe, rock, paper, scissors on what it's going to be. Speaking of toe, there's that back here again, claiming another stock. IcyMist right here in the deficit, and Raph with the lead. This is not where you want to be at all.
Once again, winning connect forward here and using the platforms to extend these combos once again. Those were not supposed to be true on those flats, but man, you gave Sonic a gift, and now Raph here is going to just run away with that unboxing video coming soon. Looking so good back in neutral. I like that IcyMist is trying to mix up these timings, but Raph just not giving it to her. He's doing such an amazing job at just understanding the spacing right outside of that grab, outside of that zair, these commitments, because if you're too close, Samus can't shoot. It's an overcommitment. Sonic will make it fast enough. But if you're too far, then you're going to go ahead and grab that dash attack, as we've been seeing. There it is, another great spacing and a red bottle response here from Sonic going in with these fares.
And maybe a bit of a panic option too, going for both hits of the jab. Usually we see her kind of go for the temperature check on the first hit and then maybe like mixed up into something else, whether it be pivot grab or, something of that sort. But actually going for both hits right there, just looking to put some damage on, was actually able to get a stock in. You brought up a really good point, how she's not able to shoot as much anymore. Even the looming threat of like a charge cancel is just not enough. When Raph has the lead, charge cancels only work when the opponent's approaching. I don't have to approach more because I'm winning. You have to mix it up. But old reliable, no mix-up needed is the back air off stage. Raph claiming another stock, looking to move up here.
I love that. Just the control, the dominance, not only on stage, but off stage as well. The speed that Samus just doesn't have. She might be very floaty off stage and take her time to really come back, but time is something Sonic doesn't have, and goes as deep as he can and can maneuver before he even uses that second jump. And that's what makes him so threatening. And I even just Raph using these amazing frame traps too. It's making it so hard for IcyMist to even process what on earth is going on. It's just too fast.
Yeah, it's hard for her to go for a button back up off the ledge. I mean, again, she's not, as blessed as ZSS is with options out of shield. She has up B. And honestly, ZSS not really all that blessed out of shield either. But, Samus, of course, is really struggling. She does have up B, but on her way back, I think IcyMist is going for like, cross-up nair, just something to maybe mix it up a little bit, but up till getting it done in the ledge. And Samus with a bit of rage right here. This could be something dangerous. So Raph definitely has to proceed with caution right now. Do not get caught in the Samus blender, because up close at these early percents, she can definitely put a hurting on you. Got that frame-free jab again, the nair, super dangerous dash attack to cover that distance. Being frame 8, that right there just quick enough to throw Sonic for a loop.
There, speaking of loops, that up there, connecting, trying to find something, and we love that fair. I think that, Rod, you said it best. These fairs have been connecting so well because they're also a little bit disjointed, throwing maybe Raph a little bit off guard. And I might not need to worry about it too much more, because just having this edge guard, gonna miss though. Speaking of spacing, there it is again. The back throw, and you are on hollow bastion, so these edges are gonna be just a little shorter. Sonic in this game is gonna kill off the side, so you already know that the next move is probably gonna come in. But as I'm saying that, commentators curse, why not kill off the top?
Hey, what a commentator curse is for one player is a blessing for the other, right? So hey, it is all about perspective, and I gotta try to understand the perspective here of Wrath a little bit more, because it really feels like the microspacing kind of came out and blessed him the way it was supposed to. You know, in these earlier sets, even up until this point, IcyMist, that dash attack, a lot of players really gonna struggle to deal with that. She's explosive. Early percents, I'm beating you down. Now I'm backing off. You want to approach me, I have a little bit of a lead. I'm playing the charge cancel game. How are you going to get in my face? Then you want to back off a little bit. Now I'm in your face. Dash attack, you weren't ready for that. IcyMist, though, kind of misspaced a couple of those dash attacks in that earlier part of the game, and Wrath made her pay for it tenfold. So great stuff on Wrath to have that good positioning and that good decision making to succeed right here in this set.
I think that it all came down to that stage, right? Just
that
the smaller,
too.
the better. It made that pressure on the side of IcyMist to be just greater. You have less room to react and less time to do anything. I like this stage, though. I think this is an excellent decision by IcyMist to really counter here. Though you are going to have more damage because of that platform, it is just a little bit bigger to hopefully give up some mix-up for IcyMist. Just find a little bit of closure and comfort, and hopefully a little bit easier confirms on these dash attack setups and maneuvering options. I don't want to see more reads. I want to see more reactions.
I want to see some commitments as well, too. I think, you know, we've been playing a very good game of chicken, you know, probably more on IcyMist's behalf, but I think that's just kind of the nature of the charge cancels. You know, what are you going to do, and then how am I going to punish it? But right now, she's just kind of reaching out and touching somebody in a big way. But wait a minute, don't touch the stove because you might get burnt. That up smash right there coming through again for Wrath. Now, of course, not getting the KO like we've seen in the earlier part of the set, but still enough to send a message. Next day airs. Not gonna be able to jump around me and on me for free.
Hey man, Sonic kind of does this for a living, beating up bots, right? And if you're not gonna take off that suit, I'm gonna maneuver around and platform my way around to get these damage and get these stocks. But this just might be quite the final loss here, as IcyMist is pulling in the fight and the second phase. But tried the setup. I love it. Sometimes an air dodge, but IcyMist very smart to not give it to him. Wrath not needing it because that's spacing once again. The drop down and is just confirming off this incredible momentum.
That's right. I mean, less is more at the ledge. I love that jab. And of course, forcing IcyMist off stage. Small opening for even bigger setup on the opposite end. Great stuff here. Oh, wonderful parry. I'm locked in right now. Yeah, that's right, because I know the game you want to play. You're in the deficit. You're going to start leaning into maybe your projectiles a little bit more. And now I'm going to be able to scout those out a little easier and put some good damage on.
Just gonna keep on continuing too. Finally the dash attack hits, but it's a soft hit. So not gonna be a KO just yet. I love that. Parking the car right in front of you on the top, landing with the nair, which is gonna set up into so much more. We're going even deeper. The fair off stage. I'm not sure if IcyMist has kept her jump. Finding the fair, the nose is sticking out. Be ready because it's stinky up in here.
You gotta be prepared. There's a dash attack to close out once more, but certainly has quite the journey ahead of her. Wrath, of course, understanding the importance right here of maintaining the lead versus a character like Samus. IcyMist, of course, really trying to chisel their way back into this. Doesn't get anything off the jab into the pivot charge shot there that time. There's always a mix-up on the other end of that jab. Hell, even jab in itself is a mix-up. It doesn't even chain into itself.
Exactly. Now reversing that up special to just kind of go ahead and grab underneath with the up air, continuing this momentum, landing it with these nairs. I feel like IcyMist, this is not the same player we've been seeing during the set and the beginning specifically. I feel like now she's starting to run in. She's jumping in very predictable measures, and that's why Wrath is finding these up air setups, and it's just not found any answer to just adapting, and she's adapted so well in this entire tournament, so I feel like it's not too late for her. We know the power of Samus, and sometimes Sonic can have a little bit of a harder time to KO at these higher percents, so maybe she can use that to her advantage.
I'll tell you what, I mean, that might be what it says on paper, but it doesn't look like it with the efficiency that Wrath is bringing to the table. I mean, the KO options are present. IcyMist already up for the fist bump. Gonna drop respectfully. Wrath is certainly gonna move on, but while it did not come without challenge, IcyMist certainly put up a great fight. But I think, in my personal opinion, Samus is just, she's a narrative-heavy character. She has to be in control of how the match is going. I have the lead. You have to play my game. The minute she has to start playing your game, she said, I'm not that type of girl. I'm out of here, okay? I need to be in charge, okay? And Samus said, you know, I'm out of this joint. So great stuff right there to IcyMist. She put on a phenomenal showing, but it is